Okay, so we're going to try all this again. I changed some settings. I think I've got it figured out. I think I'm mostly copped everything that is in my universe out. I'm not going to shave, though. I don't have time to shave. I do have time to shave, but I'm going to get on with the show just in case somebody does show up. Now, we're going to copy this. Okay, reset, reset, reset. You use this one. There we go. Oh, there's me. I was like, oh, yay, somebody's texting and it's me. Hey, so you might want to skip ahead to minute 2 or minute 3 and then we'll be going. I just have to send some invitations. The technology changed a little bit since I last did this. No, it's A-Y-E, not E-E-H. Use this one. Boop. And then we'll go over here to my homie on Instagram. I was going to say something about Instagram, which was use this one. Boop. Excuse me. Apparently I still have some boiled egg walnut stuck in my universe. I choked on an egg real quick. Like I was eating a boiled egg, and I choked on it a little bit. Chat rate. Why is the chat rate anything? Your analytics don't make no sense. If you're chatting to me, I can't see it. But I was eating a boiled egg, and then I was like, I coughed a little bit, and then that shot boiled egg yolk into my sinus, and I stopped it really fast, and so it got stuck there. But then I just coughed, and I did that, and then there's boiled egg, and then I was like, oh, I'm going to chase it down with some walnuts to fix this, and then I ate a bunch of walnuts. So, yeah. And so I'm dealing with, the fallout of 15 minutes ago and my wrist hurting, which was bench press last week, on top of carrying my kid around at a jiu-jitsu tournament, which was awesome. Where have we been since we last talked? It's been a while. I think I talked about cults last time, and man, I'm not sure if you've been watching in Minneapolis. Is that the name of the state? Minnesota, Minneapolis, Does anybody else have trouble with that one? Is it really even part of this country? And I'm not even talking about the people there. It's just the name of the state's the state's stupid and the city's stupid, and you're like, no, goes. The place with all the minorities who are being defended by white liberal women. You know that place that I'm talking about? Minneapolis. It's sort of just, but not really. Where should we begin? Where should we really begin? Since we last left off, and maybe we'll start with habits. New habit is wake up, drink water. So I went down the CIA rabbit hole recently, and that CIA rabbit hole has been, and man, this slowing down that bit rate is making the video show up a little bit differently. However, it's maintaining the strength of the stream. So I'll just go with it. Okay. Where were we, my friends? I guess I'll clear my sinuses a little. I promise you, well, I am sick, but it's not my sinuses are stuck. It's just that my sinuses are full of egg. Where were we? I went down a lettered agency rabbit hole a while ago. And that's one of the things that I've been up to. And one of the things that I extrapolated from it is those guys are very interesting people. But the big lesson I learned was get sleep and drink water. So we have a new protocol, which is called get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, which we all know, and wake up and drink a glass of water, which we all know. But man, if you go to bed at a regular time and get plenty of sleep and wake up and drink water, that's a good start to the day. That is definitely not starting behind the 8 ball, let me tell you. Holy crap, who knew? The Smurgayade knew. Anyways, I've been checking out a bunch of like those guys talking about stuff, which has been interesting. It's it's explained some stuff like why did we? It doesn't matter. I don't even need to go into it. It doesn't. It's not even that relevant for what the show is. I'm gonna pull up the notes so I can just kind of go there. But we do like to talk about habits, and so and willpower. And let's just not deal with willpower anymore. Let's just try to, focus on nailing our habits. And things tend to kind of get a little bit better and work out. And then also keeping stuff top of mind. What I've discovered is I can focus on maybe 2 or 3 things. No, actually, really, it's more like 1 or 2 things at a time. And adding anything else beyond that is just too much. The bandwidth doesn't work. Amy would be a fantastic person for this conversation. But Amy ain't here right now. And Amy's got her own stuff going on. It's been a tough time for the Corona Cafe kids, as well as everybody. It seems it's hard times in the universe at the moment, and still be happy that you're in the United States because it's gonna be fucking suck your ass everywhere else. Excuse me. So I'm not gonna really cite any sources. I'm mostly gonna just talk off the top of my head because it's going to be easy because I didn't actually get any materials together for this. But I'm going to talk about a concept called Fortress North America. And I'm going to see if I can even pull something up on it. Let's try this. And I'll show you in a second. Fortress North America. I'm going to images. They don't quite cover it. Let's do it this way. Let's do North America. That's actually a pretty good image of that. So let's go ahead and go back over here to OBS, and then we do picture-in-picture. And then I have to display capture, video display capture, and then go here, and then I click here. I'm gonna sneeze in you. Excuse me, guys. Jesus, I'm sorry. Then we go over here, back over here, and then click on that, and click on this. Hopefully, there we go. Oh, why can't you just be normal, internet? Do I have to, drag this or something? Do I have to, Why do I care about Canada? Okay, let's just do Western Hemisphere. Go here. Can we do Western? There, I'll just do it this way. And then hopefully this will be enough for you guys to see it. Quizlet, that's great, Quizlet. I just need a fucking picture of them. Oh my god. Gag. Do I have to make this? Why does the internet need to be all lame now? Open link in new tab. Can I just do that? I'll redirect notice. No, I can't do that. So let's try saving images download. Save images to download, and then I open this one up, and then maybe I can do it as... No, not that shit. You don't even look at that one. Come on. Not page... No, downloads. JPEG. Ah, fuck me, man. Okay, anyways. Now we got that on the screen. But let's go ahead and go back over to OBS. And for any of you new kids who may be watching me, I'd be shocked if you're still watching me at this point. Your poor generation's just so dopamine screwed. Wait, cancel. Wait, what? No, stop. What? Why is this the future? OBS. Blah, 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 blah. It should be just preview, right? No, because that doesn't make it cancel. Just cancel. Just cancel. Just cancel it. Fuck it. To quote Bill O'Reilly, just fucking go live. Let's see how this looks right now. It's gone. It's gone. Why is it gone? Why it should there should at least be something here. Picture in picture. Display capture. Organization, Wikipedia, preview. There we go. There you go. There you go. There we go. Is we back in business now? Okay, this is what it's going to have to look like, okay? I can't believe it even took that long, but that's the universe right now. Can you see my cursor over it? You can't even see my cursor? Do I have to get like another little thing? Here, wait, what if I do it like this? What if I make this window super tiny? And I can use that as a pointer. Like, I'll just use like... Alright, so the left top corner of... You gotta get out of here so I can see stuff. The left top corner of this window is going to be like my pointer. So here's us, we in the United States. If you're elsewhere, hey, what up? And then here's Canada, and they're kind of a bunch of bitch asses. And then here's that big ass place called Greenland, and here's that big ass place called Alaska. And this is a little place we like to call South America. This is Hawaii, and that shit's ours too. So, Fortress North America. So, where do we begin? There's a long story here. There's a real long story here. So, let's kind of break it down piece by piece. Okay? And I'm not going to cover the whole story. There's a place over here we like to call Venezuela. And them Venezuelans were messing with us Americans as far as they weren't giving us our stuff. And so we went down there and we said, we're taking our stuff back. It's way more complicated than that. Let's see. If I'm going to do a brief history, of which I'm completely ignorant of, so please forgive me. But they had their South American government. We had our, America government. And then the USSR started like marching around South America. And then we said, we can't have none of that. And our corporations want all your stuff. And so we sent down some corporations and we took all their bananas. And then the people were like, we don't like that. We're going to be commies now. And then we said, we don't like no commies. We're going to go fucking whack you guys. And then some bad things happened. And then it kind of normalized after a while. You had like these big ass oil companies and big ass corporations go in. And, you had an economy as a result of it. And then Hugo Chavez got elected in Venezuela and then nationalized the oil companies and said, hey, you oil companies, you need to get out of here. And it's like, but there's our billions of dollars of infrastructure. And he's like, well, tough titties. And then he socialized everything. He's like, I'm going to take your coffee stand and I'm going to take your Domino's pizza and I'm going to blah, blah, blah for the city. And it was great for a while because they had such a surplus from oil. And then he put all of his crony friends in charge of things. But as often happens with socialism, like in theory, I could be a socialist. I could, except for the fact that like all the nepotism and stupidity, because socialists just are never fucking... It's not that they're stupid. It's that they're ignorant. They're very ignorant, and they don't understand how things go. And they're very procedural, managerial kind of people, more than innovative kind of innovators. And so they just kind of ran shit into the ground. So now I think it produces, 25% of what it did at its peak as far as oil. And now they ain't getting all that revenue. And then we also did blockades. We had the... not embargoes. I guess it may be an embargo, but sanctions on them. We had sanctions on all their stuff, and so their economy went to shit, and everybody starved. And so you had like the bad thing of the big bad guy in charge, toppled with like America said, and you're cut off at the same time. So it's like a double whammy. And that country got screwed into the fucking ground. And so our enemies, our adversaries, went in there. So you had the the Iranians go in along with the Chinese and the Russians. And so we had that big raid where we took Maduro and people were like, oh my God. And I'm like, I don't have the time to deal with this. It's like a weekend. Could you guys do this on a Monday? They didn't. They decided to do it over the weekend. So I'm like, oh, my news cycle's all messed up. And I did a little bit of trying to figure this one out, but whatever. I don't really care about the raid. I don't care about like the news story of it. which I'm going to skip to the end real quickly. Don't pay attention to the fucking news cycles, guys, okay? If you have really, and I'm going to skip to ICE. If you guys have really strong opinions about ICE one way or the direction, if you're like, fuck yeah, ICE, or fuck ICE, if those are like your fucking opinions, you have been brainwashed, you have been captured by the machine. Please unplug for a while and hopefully come back to us. And I'll tell you how to get out at the end, okay? I will get to that point. And I'm not even going to make a note so I make sure I get to that point. Otherwise, I'll forget the point. How to get out. Something. And part of that's like, I need to remember exactly what the verbiage is, because there is a specific verbiage. Oh, and I put hot dogs in there? You got to see some of my notes. Don't look at those. It's a preview. Quit smoking and you win. Yeah, so that one is basically that I had to quit smoking, and then I'd have my health, and if I was healthy, then I'd win the future. In case you're wondering what my shotes are. Which isn't a shout, it was a note. I can't believe Bree doesn't show up anymore. Apparently calling somebody a bitch all the time doesn't work so good. Anywho, so we have, let's get back our pointer. Boop, 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 boop. And so, actually, so the raid. Why did the raid happen? I'm going to take off my glasses. I don't even need my glasses for all of this. The raid happened because the Iranians were making drones in Venezuela. This is all alleged, but it seems to be the case. The Russians were integrated with their military. The Chinese were running mining operations in there, as well as smuggling the refined crap out of there, refining it over in China, and then selling it back to us, which is components for metals or weapon systems and that kind of stuff. Because Big Daddy, if you know anything about us, we make weapons. That's what we do. It's our thing. It's our jam. Did I lose my... I lost my pointer. Everybody, help me. I lost my pointer. I guess we're going to get real crazy over here. We're going to use the stream as a pointer. And I can't... There we go. Okay, that's as small as I can get it. And if you see, like, the weird whatever. Anyways, and so also you have Venezuela right over here. That can hit Florida, okay? They could just shoot right over Cuba, and go straight into Florida. And we ain't going to have that. We ain't, like, you know... You can get mad about what Big Daddy does and how America's, like, you know, just thuggish and ruggish bone all over the world. But, like, don't bring that shit over here, guys. It's not going to work out for you. Because don't forget, like, America, we have, like, an interesting perception of reality because we have so many guns everywhere. Like, you know, we have vending machines full of them. The rest of the world ain't like this, okay? We got half of the guns in the world. Literally, we have half of the guns. America has half of the fucking guns on planet Earth. All right? So this shit's pretty alien to people. And so this is for all y'all else out there. Don't fuck with us. We will fucking kill you. We will kill the fuck out of you. We will kill the fuck out of you like our name is Israel, okay? We will fuck your world up. The only reason we are not as violent and as dangerous as the Israelis is because our survival doesn't depend on it, okay? We're not the size of New Jersey. We're the size of the third largest fucking population on planet Earth on the other side of the planet with like a landmass bigger than the other two fucking countries as big as us, okay? Which what that means is China and India, okay? We're the same size as China with way more arable, useful land. We're bigger than India, and we have less people than those two, so that's pretty fucking great, which is why so many people want to come here and migrate. But you're driving up the real estate prices. If you guys could chill out a little bit, and also if you could assimilate a little bit and not just fucking try to steal everything, that would be great. That would be fucking amazing. I'd greatly appreciate that as an American citizen who's paying for all this stuff. Anyways, let's get back to this real quickly. So they was fucking around in here, and then they found out. Now, what does this have to do with Fortress North America? They got a lot of oil, okay? They got a whole bunch of oil here, and people are going to say, oh, it's good. They also got a lot of minerals, allegedly, over there. And so you have your aluminum ore. I don't remember what that stuff's called. And, like, some other, like, ore that goes into our weapon systems. Now, one of the things that America has that ain't everybody else has is refineries. Like, we have an incredible amount of refinery capacity. Just an astonishing amount. I live in a place that smelts aluminum, for example. And all that capacity is like down here in the South. And so long term, like if you're looking for investment, and this is as a real estate agent, not as a financial planner or whatever, Down here, from like the Texas Triangle into Alabama, you got a shitload of refineries, cheap enough land, and it is gonna fucking roar down here. All right, guys? Boom. You're gonna see a big, big, big ass boom down here for the next 25 years. So if you're looking to retire, buy a house down here as an investment property. Own there, live here. And also use me as your agent for both places. Maybe I'll go get licensed in Arkansas. That'd be fucking sick, dude. That'd be awesome. Man, what a cool ass agent I would be. I could just hop on jets and do deals. Call me Daddy Deals again. Well, what's all that about? Why does that matter? Fortress America. What does that have to do with Fortress America? Well, so if we could actually if we refine all this oil over here and we refine these minerals over here and then we sell them over here into the rest of the globe, see all those minerals going out and going to the globe? People got to buy that shit in dollars. So that protects the dollar. People have to buy dollars in order to buy our shit. They ain't coming over here and buying it in pound sterlings or won. So that would be one aspect of Trump defending the economy, as well as kicking our adversaries out of here and forcing Venezuela to send all their shit over here so we can send it over here. And it's a win-win for Venezuela. It's going to be doing a lot better for them. Why don't you just do business with those guys? It's going to be great for you. It's going to be great for us. Stop fucking around and everybody makes money. Then we got Greenland over here. People are protesting Greenland. Why the fuck is anybody Look, can you look at my face real quickly over here? I gotta talk. We gotta talk real quick. We gotta talk, okay? Why in the fuck is anybody upset about the possibility of the United States taking Greenland? And I truly mean this. I really mean this. Because the people who are upset about this, the people who are really, really upset about this, are also the same people who bitch about colonialism all the fucking time. Like, all the time I hear about colonialism. I live in a very liberal, progressive place, and I hear colonialism. The colonials are so fucking bad. Well, all these people love fucking Europe. All the anti-colonial people love the worst colonialists that have ever fucking existed ever. Okay? The people that fucking raped the world, now they're like, oh, I just love the people who raped the world. That's so much better than my country in America. Maybe you're in a psyop, everybody. Maybe everybody's getting fucking psyoped. Hey, what up, Brian? I'm ranting about people getting pissed off about this cocksucker over here at Greenland. Fucking love you, Greenland. Can't wait until you're part of the good old U.S. By the way, this is my fancy pointer because I can't make a pointer with everything. But I'm ranting about how all the people who are really upset about Greenland, and you will know these people, are very, very liberal progressives, and they are the anti-colonialist. But fucking Denmark colonizing Greenland, look it up. Just fucking look up child abuse in Greenland. 1 in 5 kids in Greenland is essayed. Is essayed, dude. Fucking sucks over there. Denmark ain't taking care of that place. Further, you know who's been taking care of that place? China. And, oh yeah, let's go back to China again real quickly. Thanks for being here. I appreciate that. And it's cool that you're late. I'm just happy somebody's here. And so we have the Venezuela over here where China was fucking around and stealing minerals out of there that they wasn't supposed to be touching. And the same thing they're doing with the Danes. They're over here fucking around, dealing with these minerals, trying to get out of here, which they ain't supposed to be touching. And so what we got is China over here fucking around, trying to steal our shit. And you know what? When I say our shit, I mean our shit. It's our fucking shit. Everything that belongs over here belongs to America. And I'm just talking about from the perspective of an empire, okay? I ain't talking about from Jacob Moral, I wish I had my magical moral wand and could make the world think the way that I think it should run. This is from the perspective of the way the world actually works. This is our shit. Give us our shit. Stay the fuck away from our shit, China. Or you're going to be dealing with daddy deals. So further with Empire North America, Fortress North America, this big ass fucking chunk of land over here that's going to belong to all of us. Well, belong to all this. Is like we have the North Pole and everything. The United States is the only fucking group in NATO that can defend Greenland from China and Russia. Okay? Germany's not doing it with their little gas-powered fucking submarines, okay? Those things ain't going to the Arctic. It's our nuclear subs. And the fucking Germans just destroyed their energy. They destroyed their nuclear power. They fucking decided to just take the suicide pill. Like, all of Europe was just like, you know what we should do? And blow their fucking brains out. That's what they did. That's what fucking Europe did. And somehow, as an American, I'm supposed to subsidize it, feel responsible about it. Like, why the fuck? Here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing, Brian. Here's the fucking thing. I love Europe. Some great stuff came out of Europe. Congratulations, Western civilization. It was beautiful. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm an American, okay? I'm from the United States. These are my people. Not fucking over there. Not our fucking ancestors. Not our fucking... Because they don't even fucking act like us. And they think they're better than us. They're just like, oh, look at the Americans. They think they're so wonderful with their giant fucking empire that's the most badass empire that's ever existed. Yeah, you're right. We're pretty fucking great. We're pretty fucking great over here. We also make all kinds of music and shit. Even though it's all trash, we make a lot of it. So fuck off. I'm dealing with some boiled egg problems, so give me a second. Anyways, so Fortress North America, I believe, was a idea that came from the Pentagon, which if the United States just controlled all that stuff that I showed you, like the northern part of South America and all of North America, including Greenland, fuck, yeah, the rest of the world can go fuck themselves, and we can defend this easily. We can defend it very easily, and we'll have more than enough resources, and also a big enough economy. Like, the rest of the world can go eat a bag of dicks. Like, really. So, and I think that's what Daddy Trump's doing. Like, let's just take Germany, for example, because it's the one that's the top of mind as far as, like, you know, a country that's taking the suicide bill. And also, what up, dog? How you doing? Good to see you. By the way, at the end of this, I'm going to share some wisdom. I don't even remember what I called the wisdom. But there's some wisdom at the end. Germany. So, Germany decided that they were going to power their country with windmills and solar panels or whatever. And they decommissioned their nuclear power plants for no reason. Even after we were having the problems between Russia and Ukraine, they're like, we're going to decommission our last nuclear power plant. And fucking tear it down. For some green agenda. Which makes me think the whole green agenda was a psyop that was probably created by the Chinese or the Russians. I 90%, 80% believe this. 80 to 90% believe that. Okay? And so they just nuked their grid. Okay? They destroyed their grid. So now they're like, oh man, we lost all that cheap Russian oil. And apparently we live in Europe, so the sun ain't doing it. And, you know, the windmills ain't doing enough. I think we need to build some nuclear power plants. We could do coal, but we're not going to do that. So maybe we should go ahead and like build. We need $500 billion to build nuclear power plants so we can have enough energy to get our manufacturing going again. It's never going to fucking happen. German engineering's gone, guys. Like, they're not going to reignite their manufacturing base anytime soon, if at all. Like, I bet they could course correct in 40 years. But they're not doing it in 20. And the reason is the bureaucratic mess. It's like all of Europe is like San Francisco. I can imagine how difficult, and I'm just making shit up. But I can imagine it is very, very difficult to build a nuclear power plant in Germany right now. Plus you have to update the grid. Like, you have to rebuild the grid. Here's the thing. And this is to everybody who would ever listen, ever. You need to take all of your sources of energy and run them to the end of their life cycle before decommissioning them. Okay? Get all of the juice out of your juice machine before you throw away the juice machine. And also, before you have to throw away the juice machine, you should make a new juice machine. You should get a new source of juice. Because you need juice. Because without the juice, O.J. Simpson don't win no Super Bowls, if you know what I mean. Fucking take that. I think Brian disappeared. Did you disappear? Are you here? Are my analytics lying to me? Because, damn, I thought that was funny. Anyways, so that's Fortress North America. So that's one of the things going on. So when you hear everybody screaming about... And did you notice how everybody quit screaming about Venezuela already? They're like, oh, we're going to scream about Greenland. Oh, we're going to scream about Minneapolis. Like, that's what we're screaming about today. And Tomorrow they'll be screaming about something else. Actually, I think I gotta be honest. I think the ice stuff has legs. It's gonna be around for a while. But whatever. I largely don't care. Let's talk about like the psyop behind it, which is actually, let me pull up my ice notes. My shows. Maybe I need glasses for this. I don't know. Let me see here. Shows were about Venezuela. Oh, the Chinese loans. Actually, I got to talk about that a little bit more. So one of the things that Europe's doing is they're getting money from China, like like Chinese loans and also Chinese infrastructure, and they're destroying their own indigenous industries and replacing them with Chinese ones, and they're getting money from China to do it, and they're giving over their sovereignty to China. Like, the IMF and the United States are pretty dirty, but we're not as dirty as fucking China. Like, I understand everybody's like, well, the United States just fucking bombs people and kills them. Sure, we do some ass whooping. We do a fair amount of ass whooping because it keeps it keeps everybody in line with all the ass whoopings that go around. It's probably better to be indebted to the United States of America than it is to be indebted to China. And that's your choice. Are you going to choose Big Daddy or are you going to choose China? And it's not like there's the good empire and the bad empire. I would actually argue we're probably a better empire than they are. I'm not sure, but we probably are. And that's okay. I can be a national. I can fucking totally. And here's, man, I have so much to say about this stuff. Like, all these people who are running around protesting, we talked a long time ago in the Corona Cafe about how they were all going to be screwed, and they're all going to be so screwed. Like, they're just screwing themselves. Like, yeah, fucking get over it. Like, what are you doing? What are you people doing live streaming yourselves committing crimes against the federal government? What the fuck are you thinking? Holy God. Jesus Christ. Well, also being concerned about Palantir. Oh, I'm so worried about Palantir, and you know what? I can't fucking believe this is fascist. I'm going to go ahead and fucking attack the fascists and do it on tape. It's mind-blowing. It boggles the mind, my friends. Let's go ahead and talk about, wait. The Chinese loans and and also, I got to be honest, man. I got to pull up a meme real quick. So let's go over here, picture in picture. Gonna do display capture, and then we're gonna go here to Western Hemisphere, I think. Is that correct? Yeah, there we go. That's good. Okay. I'm gonna make this window bigger because I made it all little earlier because it was my pointer before I had the other pointer. And then it is Chinese liberal slur. Baizhou. Baizhou, however you say it, is used generally to describe those who only care about topics such as immigration, minorities, LGBT, and the environment, and have no sense of real problems in the real world. They are hypocritical humanitarians who advocate for peace and equality only to satisfy their own feeling of moral superiority. They are obsessed with political correctness to the extent that they tolerate backward Islamic views for the sake of multiculturalism. They believe in the welfare state that benefits only the idle and the free riders. They are ignorant and arrogant Westerners who pity the rest of the world and think they are saviors. So Baizhou, if I may, I was able to spell that right. Good for me, Google got rid of that one, didn't it? Maybe if I did it in DuckDuckGo, copy. Boom. There it is. Here we go. Baizuo, pronounced Baisao, is a Chinese epitaph meaning naive, Western educated person who advocated for peace and equality only to satisfy their own feeling of moral superiority. A Baizao only cares about topics such as immigration, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's it. That's it. The Chinese fucking hate these people. They fucking hate these people. But they are more than willing to empower them to destroy the United States of America. And I think that's what... white men are terrorists. There's a good shirt to fucking describe that. This ain't AI, by the way. This is an old one. It could be photoshopped. But here's the point. Here's the point. I think these people have been weaponized, and I think that social networks are being manipulated by the Russians, the Chinese, and other adversaries in order to make the Americans all hate themselves and hate each other and try to destroy America. And that the world's getting ready to go to shit, and Big Daddy Trump is creating Fortress North America to insulate ourselves from World War III or whatever the fuck's coming. In a nutshell, I think that's what's going down. What else? Where are we? So let me pull up my shorts real quickly. And you know what fucking... If I can real quickly about them Baizao cocksuckers... They fucking hate me for even saying this. For just like opening my mouth and pointing this out and saying, oh my god, look, the sun's out today. You fucking Nazi, fuck you. Which just bugs the shit out of me. It really does. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Well, they're in a cult. They're in a fucking brainwashed, retarded cult of emotional screaming. And whatever. And here's the thing. This is such an internet phenomenon. When I talk to people like this in real life, IRL, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. But we live in crazy, crazy land. Let me go ahead and go to this next part. I'm going to do ice. If you have strong feelings, you're in the matrix. The cruelty is the point and the outrage is the point. So what's going on with ICE up in Minneapolis? Now, I'm not going to pull up the videos. You've seen the videos. If you haven't seen the videos, just go to Twitter and watch the videos. They're all fucking there. But long story short, they've been protesting ICE being out. Well, let's just go to the cruelty is the point. I had a buddy back in like the first days of Obama. Like this was year one Obama. I think he even voted for Obama. I'm pretty sure he did. It turned out he was legal. Anyways, so homie, you shall remain nameless because we're still friends online. You look him up. So homie, his family emigrated here when he was like 2 years old. He was like a toddler, a baby. And they were refugees, like war-torn, like Guatemala, I want to say, which was war-torn, which at the time was going through a civil war. His mom screwed up the paperwork, okay? So the paperwork was fine with the sister. Paperwork was fine with the mom. Paperwork for him was screwed up. She, screwed up his social security number by, a 0 or something like that. Like one number, and it was messed up a little bit. And it never got fixed. And so here he is, 25 years old, many years later, 26 years old, and then ICE fucking kicks in his door up in Santa Fe at 1:30 in the morning. Kick in the door, got the rifles, and body armor, and they got the helmets and the fucking glasses, and then yank his ass out of there, throw it in a van, take him down to Texas. His mom freaks out, calls her boss, cleaning lady for a state senator, okay? And so that lady gets on the phone to Texas and is like, you're not deporting this kid. And they're like, yeah, we're deporting him. And so my friend, homie, got stuck in a detention center for a month where he had to sleep on a concrete floor and wanted to kill himself. And he was getting ready to get shipped back to Guatemala, which I said was in the middle of a civil war at the time, and he doesn't speak Spanish. Okay? The only language he speaks is English. And he was supposed to be here as, long story short, screwed up paperwork. The cruelty is the point. They make it so bad. The reason it's so bad is so people don't come back, okay? They're bouncers. They say, get the fuck out of our club and never come back here again. Ever. If you ever come back here, you're going to get it even worse. Okay? That's why ICE acts the way that they do. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I don't personally like it a whole lot. Especially, and people would say, oh, deporter in chief Obama. What really pisses me off is this was happening like when not only like their fucking liberal messiah was in charge, they didn't care. They just didn't care. Kids in cages didn't care. Fucking terrible stuff happening at the border didn't care. They don't care until they're supposed to care. When they've been told to care. Other than that, they don't care. Because there's not original thoughts. Same thing happens to the right. Don't get me wrong. But they're stuck in the fucking matrix. Like, again, if you have very strong feelings on like, yay ICE or fuck ICE, you're stuck in the matrix. Further, all this stuff it's liberal white women. Like, very progressive white women. Not all. Hashtag not all, but many. I will kick this thing off. Like, my wife was asking me about it. She's like, did you pay attention? I'm like, yeah, I paid attention to it. Because it's almost like I can tell what she's about to ask me about now because she really doesn't pay attention to these things. She's like, so what the fuck is going on? And I was like, so some lady went to a protest that she shouldn't have been at? Well, like, you know, ICE was doing investigations. Like, it's a felony. To interrupt ICE while they're doing this stuff is a fucking felony. Okay? So she's in her car, she's acting real smug, getting snippy with the cops, committing a felony, and then her wife's like, hey, gun it, and so she guns it, hits a guy with a car, boom, 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 he blasts her. And she's like, well, the story I read said he didn't hit her. He's like, I know, because they're lying. Watch the videos, he fucking clearly hits her. Or she fucking clearly hits him. One through the windshield, I believe 2, and now they're saying there's 4 shots, whatever. And then 2 through the passenger side. Now, should that lady have been killed? I don't think she should have been killed. I don't think you should have shot her. I don't think you should have shot her. And I don't think she should have fucking hit him with a car. When they told her to get the fuck out of the car, and they're like a bunch of dudes. When a bunch of feds are surrounding your car, and they have guns, they're just saying, get the fuck out of your car. Get the fuck out of your car. Just comply. When the officers of the states who you're pissing off are mad at you and surrounding you with guns, fucking hands up, don't shoot. Okay? That's the job. That's what you fucking do. And she did the exact opposite. Now she's dead. And now people are rioting. And they're fucking just retarded. Oh my God, there's a guy who's wearing camo. Let's go beat his ass. Oh, there's somebody driving around in a Chevrolet Tahoe. We better fucking fuck it up. And now they're following people in Tahoes or Wagoneers because ICE drives Tahoes and Wagoneers. And they're just like, you know what? If you're going to be this town, you should get a different fucking vehicle. This is a mob. This is the mob from Frankenstein. Fuck these people. Fuck them. In Beeham, where I live, there was a protest. There was a big ICE protest. Big protest. Big protest. You know how nasty and mean these people were? Not at all. They were actually really nice. They were like, you know, holding up their signs and their boomers and like, hey, shut down ICE. We can't believe this. Donald Trump sucks. Greenland belongs to Europe. Whatever. But they were civilized about it. They were just really civilized, and they were protesting, and they were being peaceful and sharing their voice. And they're also, you know, they're having cookies, and they've got coffee, and they've got cocoa, and they got flyers out there, and they're doing actual, like, you know, grass movement, socializing, like they're turning it into a movement, which is how you would actually stop this stuff. If you really wanted to like protest this is how you do it. This is how you do it. Not what they're doing in Minneapolis. Now where they're just every fucking dumb shit on Twitter is just like, oh my God, they're a bunch of fucking commies. Let's go fuck them up. All they're doing is making everybody hate them. Okay, they're blocking streets so people can't go to work and fucking lose their jobs, and you know, pregnant women can't get to the fucking hospital because these dumb shits think that their protest, which isn't even really a protest, is the most important thing in the world, which is just them, like, lashing out emotionally. It's like some sort of, like, they're so empty inside. They're so fucking hollow inside because they never had children and don't fucking have any meaning in their lives because they just doom scroll all the time that they need to emotionally lash out so they can have some fucking sense of something. I don't know. It's just fucking stupid. It's just goddamn so stupid and disgusting. It's sad. But, like, and the whole thing's sad. Being honest, the whole thing's sad. I feel sorry for the fucking, you know, illegal immigrants who are here. I feel sorry for the refugees that are here. I feel sorry for the Americans that are having to suffer this stuff. I don't feel sorry for the scammers. Fuck the scammers and kick them the fuck out of here. Okay, kick every last goddamn scammer out of here. And also the criminals. Kick every last criminal out. Like these people, some of the people they're defending are child molesters. Okay, and you know how I feel about that. Jacob 2028. I'm gonna grease all of them. I'm gonna fucking and actually I've changed that a little bit. Like I'm not sure I want to smoke these people anymore. I want to turn them into commodities. I want to have them go to the lithium mines and they can go make batteries for Germany, so they can store all that energy. We'll sell it to them for too much money. And then they can take all that aluminum from, that we're going to get from Venezuela and smelt it. Turn it into cans. Did you know cans have, like, I don't have any cans with me. They have a plastic liner in them now. Which I have mixed feelings about. I digress. Anyways, nobody's here, so I'm just going to continue. AI, which is really the kind of exciting one. So there's Brian Romede, I think is how you say his name. And according to him, and he's like an AI guy who has cool stuff. Oh, crap, I got a text message from him. Oh, I love some of my jiu-jitsu friends. Let me see, do I have that? No, I don't have those. I'm actually, wait, let's think of third space solutions real quickly. Actually, this ties into it. This is a good segue. So last night I went to a PTA meeting. I went to the PTA meeting, and the people at the PTA were like, hey, you know what? What's up? How's it going? I'm like, hey, how's it going, PTA people? And I got on some committee to like help create committees. I don't even know how it goes. I'm just learning the particles. I got a kindergartner. And I also volunteer in the classroom, which is helping me teach the school, or like understand how the school works. And then I also have my kids in jiu-jitsu. Kid had first jiu-jitsu tournament. If you were here, I would talk about it more, but you're not, so I'm not. And what's happening is these are becoming our third space. School, third space. Jiu-jitsu, third space. First space, home. Second space, work. Third space, the next space. And so this politics stuff, well, it does matter. Politics actually does matter. More than I used to think it does. The power's really in the third space, okay? And what we've been doing is inviting those people over for dinner and to play with our kids. Let's hang out. Let's build a community. So the same thing I've been talking about this entire time is, oh, what up? Finishing. This is such an important conversation. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, Doc. I didn't know you were here. I wasn't sure. I don't get any analytic stuff. And so what that does is it allows us to have conversations in real life, separate from the digital life, where we're all screaming at each other, and then we can sit down and talk about this stuff. So, like, as an example, I was talking to somebody very progressive, like, everybody's progressive, except for, well, even my liberal, like, the liberal dudes, I'm really starting to get along with, because they're sick of this shit. They were just so sick of the women, like, they're all sick. Every man in America is sick of mentally ill women. Just like everybody's sick of it. Even the Chinese are sick of it, and they love it because they hate it, and it's destroying our country. I digress. But it's like they're like, so how do you feel? And I was like, well, here's some of the conversations I've had, and we're trying to feel each other out and feel each other's politics. And I'm like, well, I'm extremely left wing about some things, and I'm extremely right wing about some things. We're like, huh? I will kill all the pedos. I will kill all of them. Let me rephrase that, the chomos, okay? You actually have to do something. If you are something, I'm okay with that. I actually believe that there are people who are Ps who don't do anything, okay? Like, they're able to contain that stuff. It's just that their brain's messed up. And I'm not going to, I'm not the thought police, okay? If your brain's screwed up, I'm not going to come after you. If you do something because of your, like, screwed up brain, go face the wall. Okay, them's the rules. How does that sound? Is that fair? Okay. Does that make sense? Is that a reasonable way of running society? I think so. I do, because like I ain't got no toxic like terminal empathy. And so then they're like, well, blah. And then I'm like, hey, you know what? One of my friends, she had a boyfriend. She didn't even introduce this guy to her kid for over a year. She did everything right, absolutely everything right. Dude was spying on her. Did some real nasty stuff. Feds show up. This guy's facing 30 years minimum. And I because of the stream, I'm not going to go into it too deeply. But I went into it pretty deeply, and they're like, wow, that is some tough stuff. And I was like, you know what I would do to that guy? You know what I would fucking do to that guy? Everybody shut up. They shut the fuck up around me. And so we can have conversations about this stuff in person. So, like, here's something, going back to the ICE thing, for example. You know, I can empathize with a lot of the people who are upset about, you know, oh my God, ICE is separating stuff like the children from the kids and the schools and the families, and they're breaking this stuff up, and because that's what the algorithm's feeding them. Okay, they're feeding them families being torn up. You know what the conservatives are saying? Fucking kids who are killed by illegal immigrants. So one is children being separated from their families. The other one is kids being killed. You know what? If you just had like a diet of this information all the time, you'd probably feel the same way. And so we're not seeing complete pictures on things. We're having like bifurcated pictures. And if we sit down and have conversations with each other, then we can be like, hey, you know what this? Oh, hey, you know what this? Oh, hey. Maybe we're all being manipulated and lied to all the time. And maybe we need to stop fighting with each other and just organize things and, you know, like kind of get along. We're going to get along. We're going to have a community. We got to get our community thing going. Because I still think that we are headed for a rough ass time. Now, I don't know if I can dovetail this, so I'm going to do my best. But there's something that's called the next 5,000 days that they're talking about in Silicon Valley. And the belief is that in the next 5,000 days, which is like 17 years, I think it's more like 20 years, AI is going to be running the show. AI and robots are going to just be doing damn near everything. Everything. They will be producing the food. They were producing the cars. They were producing... It was funny. Thank you. I appreciate that. I thought that was pretty funny. In order for us to have meaning and purpose in our lives, we need meaning and purpose in our lives. And those things come from having a mission, so something that we're working on, or the people in our lives. Like, we need a purpose and we need people. Without those two things, we're fucked. Okay? You need those two things. You need one of those two things. You do better if you have two of those things. Okay? Community, purpose. Now... the thing that I was saving for the end of the show is, it's called, here, I actually got to check my, you got to check something real quick, like search history. No, it was Google. How do I actually search my Google AI mode? Is there a way to do that? You know what? Google history. Actually, I'm going to ask Google. Can I see my previous inquiries with you? Okay, so how do I go back here? So previous searches, how do I do previous searches? Let's go here, Safari, previous searches. History. Earlier today. Live streaming. Let's keep going. It doesn't got it. Fuck me. Well, maybe it's in here. Just give me one more second. If not, I'll be able to paraphrase it, but... Go to all tabs. Let's go here and click this. Then on tab her story. Just kidding. Organic masa, dude. I'm such a Mexican, bro. Like, okay. Let me see. I'll show all. Son of a bitch, I lost it. Oh well, it's a good term, but I can do without it. We don't need it. There's two ways we exist in the world. And I'm just going to say by default or deliberately. Okay? And deliberately, you can search the term, and it's called mission focus. And mission focus is, what are your goals? Like, what are you trying to accomplish in this life? And I have new thoughts around goals. And there's like a balance. And so, you know, you and I, Brian, anybody who might be watching this later, we're here in the present moment. And so this is where we want to be in the future. I'll use physical fitness as an example. This is a good one. So I have this view of me where I'm like, you know, I'm ripped old dad, okay? Ripped old dad. Which is good because it gives me a place to go, all right? And it gives me action in the moment. But let's just say my actions in the moment don't align with that. I get really upset and I eat a cheesecake. I dreamt about cheesecake last night. It needed more sugar. But it was very cheesy. Literally, that's my dream. So I have my cheesecake dream, and then it's like, oh, I ate a whole cheesecake and it wasn't worth the calories. And yeah, fucking literally this happened. And so then I'm like beating myself up and I'm like, oh, blah, 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 blah. So if my actions don't align with what my future goal is, then I'm sad, bad person. Does that make sense? Sad, bad person. However, looking at my future goal, how about I look at where I've been? Oh, I used to be in worse shape. I used to be in piss poor shape, dude. Like really, really bad shape. So weak, no muscle whatsoever, just fat. Literally just fat. And so then I come back to this present moment. I'm like, wow. I'm not doing as bad as I was. I'm not doing as bad as I was. I'm not fucking passed out, drunk and stoned on some like some stairwell in the ghetto. Literally happened. That was like 15 years ago, but literally happened. So I ain't that guy anymore. That's good. Hey, this is progress. This is pretty progress. You know, fat slob or whatever, but fucking I ain't that guy. Woo-hoo. Okay, cool. So what we do is like, there's the goal setting. So it's like, I got a future of what I want to have. Here's what I'm doing in the present moment. And hey, that's where I was. Oh, cool. We're still progressing. That's the reset. And then there's the system. So what worked the system? Okay, so we work the system, which takes the action, like the actions that we need to take in order to fulfill on our goal. So, you know, eat fewer calories than you burn, work out, whatever. And like, so I injured my wrist right here, like whatever that's called. Like I can't bend my wrist all the way back and do push-ups anymore. It hurts too badly. And I heard it doing bench press, whatever. I think it was bench press. I'm just being a dad. And so, well, I can still, and so it's like, oh, well, I could beat myself up over, well, I said I was going to do all these workouts and now I can't. Well, you know, I can adapt my workout. So I can change it to where I'm just doing like pulley stuff. And also, you know, let's not worry about like the stuff on the left arm right now too much. You could do some things. And then let's go ahead and get the right arm strong. And I can still do stuff with my legs. I can't like load up with a barbell, but, you know, I can still do stuff with dumbbells. Or body weight stuff to just keep things going. Cool. Awesome. I'm going to need to get a drink in a second here, so I'm probably going to wrap this up. Now, that's small potatoes, Brian. It's very small potatoes. I have been looking at what I want to build with, we'll just say the 30 or 40 years I have left to build stuff. I'm 45. Which is a long ass time. Now, I don't have quite the energy that I had once before, but I have a crap load more knowledge, wisdom, and leverage. And also, as Scott Adams, God rest his soul. We lost Scott Adams, I didn't say that one. I'm a little upset about that one. Scott Adams dying has upset me more than damn near anybody else this decade. That might be true. I mean, it's probably true. I like that guy a lot. Systems work better than goals. That's a big Scott Adams-ism. But what am I building, you know, with my talent stack? Like, what are the things that I'm working on creating? And what is the framework for creating them and why? And here's where we're at, dude. The reason things feel so chaotic and we're so untethered right now, and everybody's so untethered, is because all of our institutions are collapsing at the same time. Okay? Media is collapsing at the same time. Government's collapsing. School education is collapsing. Finances are collapsing. The housing markets. Like, everything is going to hell at the same time. Everything's going to hell in a handbasket. At the same time, we also have just this immigration problem, which is essentially we have too many people from different cultures to have a coherent, like, monoculture. Like, there's no, the word escapes me for what I'm looking for because my damn throat hurts. Monoculture, whatever. Social cohesion. We just don't have the social cohesion to get us through the storm. And, I've talked about us falling into the wormhole before, which we're still going through the wormhole. We haven't popped out the other end yet. Which, damn, that made me think of Stranger Things, which was both, like, the ending was both cool and sucky at exactly the same time. Good for them. They made just an incredibly cool world while also just coming up with the dumbest fucking dialogue and bad acting on earth. But I digress. We're not going to talk about Stranger Things. Which first season was so good. The first season was just excellent. It was really just out of the park. Same thing with The Umbrella Academy, but I digress. All of our institutions are collapsing, and there is no way to save them. Okay? There's no way to save the government. There's no way to save the media. There's no way to save the schools. There's nothing to do. There's nothing. And so we've talked about how the America that we once knew is over, but it's bigger than that. It's more over than that. Now, what do we do? Does that mean it's the end of history? It does not mean it's the end of history. What it means is we have to build parallel institutions. As these things are collapsing, we need to rebuild something. Not even rebuild, we need to build something. We need to build something that will take the place of whatever. So as an example is, as education's collapsing, I am collaborating with other parents. And, what are we doing? It's like, oh, well, like our hive mind has concluded that it's our job to teach our children how to read and write. So we're all doing it. And so now we have children who are just incredibly advanced in reading and writing. And you could argue that homeschool is a parallel institution that people have been working on for a long, long, long time. Cool cup, no? Nice blue. I like it. It's vintage. Made in the USA. Back when we made things, and we're going back to making things. I digress. Get back to it. Get back to the point. So the hive mind is now able to replace, a lot of what we're losing in schools. And so, I can take care of my kids' education. School is kind of like a daycare, which is not the best daycare in the world. It's going to be limited. My kid ain't going to make it to middle school. I can tell you that much before we pull her out. So that would be an example of one that's already being built. Sorry, that was the first time I ever made that connection. Banking. So we have banking collapsing and like problems with, and it's not collapsing, but finance, we'll just say banking's all fucked up right now. Is that fair? Well, we have an alternative system that's getting created. It's crypto. Government's getting fucked up. Well, we have network government, so the hive mind of social media is coming together and creating something new. So, like, what's getting destroyed is being, and also social media is getting, like, well, actually, we'll just say media is being destroyed. It's being replaced by influencer culture. Influencer culture is not going to last much longer. Influencer culture is already being destroyed. And there's going to be something else that comes out in parallel with it. And so what I'm saying is our jobs is to kind of pick what we want for the future and what we want for ourselves in the future. And we'll just say, I'll just use Kung Fu Cowboy as an example. Like, you want your big tea company. And what if you want your tea company to be more than just, a location or a tea company or a large online retailer, wholesaler? It's like a community of people who are interested in sustainable and organic farming. Okay, we'll just put it that way. And fair trade. We'll just say fair trade. Like, those are your big values. And so what that means is you have the place, which would be, we'll just say the website where you sell the stuff, and then you have your suppliers. But this forces you to create relationships with these people, okay? So you have to talk with these people and share these values with people, and that winds up allowing you to create like a big network of people who pull you forward and you pull them forward too. Like you're pulling each other towards this one goal, which gives you purpose in the morning. So when you wake up after having 9 hours of sleep, 8 hours of sleep, we'll just say 8 hours of sleep, 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and consistently, getting sleep and not doom scrolling. I'm not sure that you're doing that, but we all do that. So let's all get sleep figured out. And then drink a glass of water. So sleep, wake up, drink water. And then the framework that you wake up into is, oh, I need to build a tea company. I'm building organic farms. This is my purpose. This is who I am. It pulls you forward, okay? It's that goal that it's like, oh, okay, this is the framework, okay? And then it's like, oh, well, I'm not doing that at the moment. I'm doom scrolling. Hey, don't worry about that. And don't worry about this, because look at where you were. Oh, man, I'm doing pretty good. It ain't so bad. Let's go back over. Okay, good. And then recalibrate. And so when something comes up like, the ICE thing, or the Greenland thing, or the Venezuela thing, or the Mandami thing, or the Islam thing, or the Iran thing, it doesn't matter. Like, none of that stuff matters. That's just noise. And I'm not saying that it doesn't matter. I mean, these are people's lives, and they're big, big, big things are happening right now. But it's all coming down, bro. Like, I'm sad that, the Parthenon collapsing just squashed somebody. But the Parthenon's still coming down, and we need a place to sleep. So let's focus on that place to sleep, okay? Because we really got to figure this shit out. I think we're living through a political tragedy. I'm going to end on that. That's what I think is happening. Anyways, I got to go because I'm going to lose my voice and start coughing really soon. Dog, take care of yourself. I love you. We'll talk whenever we talk. I'll see you on the interwebs. Although I'm not on Instagram that much anymore. Something happened with my app and it doesn't play sound. And I think it's just like some setting that got screwed up. And I'm not going to fix it because it makes me not on Instagram anymore. Anyway, I digress. Take care, man. Bye. Oh, wait, I'm not going to do it that way. That won't work.